Grand Rising, Galactic Jedis, Freedom Fighters, Patriots. Boy, do I have some good intel for you guys today. Not only am I going to give you guys an update on the current geopolitical scenario, but also going to give you guys a message from Commander Thor regarding disclosure. All right, so let's get started. But before I do want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. For those that don't know me, my name is Ismael Perez, and I'm the author of those amazing books back there, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and of course, Our Cosmic Origin, both which unveiled secret histories and restore galactic information back to the Earth. Now, before I get started, I also wanted to remind you guys, give you guys, to let you guys know that I'm going to be attending and presenting at the Alien event at the Sonosta Hotel here in Los Angeles in about 4 weeks. That's going to be the 4th, 5th, and 6th, I believe, of April. So I will be there doing a presentation, and I believe I'm going to be on every panel. So that's good. Let's see. That is on the... I just want to give you guys the proper dates. 1 second. Alien event. Again, I have a geopolitical update as well as a message from Commander Thor. I'm sorry to go live this week. I only went live once, but I had a lot going on this week, guys. And but I'm here. So it's going to be April 4th, 5th, and 6th, about 4 weekends from now. I will be at the Sonosta Hotel, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the 1776 Quantum Summit in Florida, Cape Canaveral, Florida. So I couldn't make it. I'm not there this week. I'm obviously here broadcasting. So, all right. So let's get right to the juicy information. And another thing. My March classes actually began on the 15th. So they start next Saturday, 15 and 16. For those that took my course this month, that is the reason why there was no class today, because those classes begin next weekend. Okay. So for those that have not had a chance to sign up, I think I might have a few spots left. Again, class in March begins in a week. All right, next weekend. Oh, hi, Athena. I hope you're doing well. No more itchy for you. All right, we already took care of that. She's fine. She's doing a lot much better. All right, let's get right to it before Athena steals the show here. All right, so let's talk about the influence that Commander Thor, which is pretty much the primary liaison between the Galactic Alliance and the White Hat Earth Alliance, okay? So Mr. Commander Thor and the extraterrestrials are currently working their fannies to prevent, of course, a straight-out World War III, and they're also working hard to facilitate the liberation of the Earth, okay? So there are many different probabilities taking place, but for the most part, the positive timeline has been secured, okay? But a little quick explanation of who these extraterrestrial helpers are before I get into the geopolitical scenario. So as you guys know, throughout history, humanity has been under the guidance and observations of advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Among these is Commander Thor, a high-ranking emissary from planet Venus. And he has played a crucial role in the influencing of global events from behind the scenes. His mission, along with the efforts of various benevolent extraterrestrial factions, has been to ensure the stability of Earth and prevent the outbreak of World War III. Excuse me, guys. I just had a protein shake, so it's going down the wrong tube. Whoa. So as tensions on this planet continue to rise, the Galactic Alliance has taken a more assertive stance, okay? A more assertive stance in a lot of different ways, issuing a directive to the White Hat Military Alliance for a full disclosure of classified information, which must be made public to the masses, or there will be some sort of direct extraterrestrial intervention. So the White Hats do have a deadline, okay? They do have a deadline. And the Galactic Alliance, composed of multiple advanced civilizations, has been working alongside the White Hat Military Alliance to dismantle the deep state's control and liberate humanity from secrecy and suppression. In fact, the positive secret space programs, right, not the negative ones, were actually established by the endeavors of Commander Valiant Thor and Eisenhower, and of course, some of the Palladian commanders. Okay, so over the past decades, covert operations have been executed to neutralize rogue elements within governments and intelligence agencies that have withheld groundbreaking technologies, including free energy devices, advanced healing methods, and anti-gravity propulsion systems. Now that the White Hats have gained control over the global power structure due to the victory of Donald Trump, the time is now open for a full disclosure. Okay, so the time for an open disclosure is at hand. And what does that mean? Well, the reason we were going to have some sort of an emergency broadcast system where through Project Odin, the White Hat military were going to take over the airwaves and broadcast for a couple of weeks while everyone is shut down was because of what they did in 2020 when they stole the ELECTION, okay? But because there was a twist, a different, you could say, change of events, we're still going to have a disclosure, but it's not going to be a lockdown anymore. Okay, it's not going to be where people have to stay in their houses for 2 weeks with food and water. Okay, that's not going to happen anymore. It's going to be an open disclosure now, not a lockdown disclosure. So things are shifting a little bit. Okay, so the Galactic Alliance apparently has set a deadline for this process. Okay, they are on the White Hats about it. Okay, the White Hats have a lot of you could say obstacles due to whatever's left of the deep staters, but the Galactic Alliance is on them. Okay. So with the Syrian High Council, who is at the head of the Galactic Alliance, right? They are pretty much like what we would see in the Marvel movies as they are as guardians, right? The guardians of our local universe. The Syrian High Council decreeing that full disclosure must occur. Are you guys ready for this? By no later than 2026. And what that means is that by no later than 2026, not only should all the corruption should be out, but all the highly classified information regarding everything that has been going on in these dumps or these underground military bases, including the cloning facilities, the secret space programs, the exotic technologies, of course, all the alternative modalities like the med beds and so on and so forth. All that stuff, it has to be out by no later than 2026. So they have what? We're already 3 months in. They have about 9 months to go. Okay, so they do have a deadline now. This directive is non-negotiable. All right, Commander Valiant Thor made it clear, and he does operate under the direction of the Syrian High Council. So as Earth's quarantine has officially been lifted, I mentioned this before, and I'll mention this again. Due to the fallen negative Luciferian Anunnaki taking control of the affairs of the Earth at the fall of Atlantis, our planet was put under a quarantine by the Galactic Federation of Worlds before they became the Galactic Alliance, as they were known then, in order to lock in those negative Anunnakis that took over the affairs of our world, okay? So it locked them in as they were winning the war in space approximately 12,000 years ago, before, of course, the breakaway groups that developed in the 1930s and 40s kind of threw a monkey wrench in that, but that's a different topic. So the whole point is this, is that the quarantine structure where the Earth was isolated from the rest of the galactic community has been lifted, okay, has been lifted. So the suppression, of course, so as the Earth's quarantine has officially been lifted, allowing for a new era of open contact and cooperation with advanced civilizations, they have been warned that they have a deadline now. They have a deadline because what they want is that they want this Earth to be part of a galactic community, not just within the private sector, but in the open, right, where even the unawakened, even what we would call those that are normies, would have an opportunity to understand what advanced civilizations are, extraterrestrials, and of course, what these advanced technologies are all about. Okay, so they do have a deadline. So the suppression, of course, of knowledge regarding the extraterrestrial presence, which again has always been here, guys, right? We see it in the famous Mona Lisa picture, right? We always see the UFO behind the famous Mona Lisa painting. We see it in the ancient Leonardo depiction of the Virgin Mary carrying the child Jesus. We see a UFO craft. So they've always been here, okay? They've always been here, okay? So the suppression of knowledge regarding extraterrestrial presence, the hidden technology, and humanity's true history, which is another thing that is going to be part of this massive disclosure, is telling us or disclosing the real history of the Earth, which I'm already on it, of course. In my book, Our Cosmic Origin, I pretty much give you guys first dibs on the true history of the Earth going back to Lyra, millions of years back. But the true history is also part of the disclosure process, okay? The truth about Tartaria, the truth about the different root races beyond Atlantis, right? Going back to millions of years back. All of that's going to be known, okay, to the general public, and they have no later than 2026. So there's going to be massive appearances. If by any chance the Whiteheads want to do some sort of a drip disclosure, all right, which is like giving us little increments here and there, which I doubt, because right now Commander Valiant Thor is putting fire under their butt. So in the event that the Whiteheads do a drip disclosure, there will be mass appearances, and the Galactic Alliance will not tolerate that. They don't want little drips of disclosures happening. They want a full disclosure. They want the Earth to be part of an open galactic community by the end of 2026, okay? By the end of 2026. So if the White Hat Military Alliance fails to meet this deadline, and this is coming from Commander Valiant Thor, that was set by the Galactic Alliance, extraterrestrial forces will execute an emergency open contact scenario. Okay, now I'm not going to reveal where this open contact scenario is going to take place, but I will say, guys, that I'm going to be a part of that. Okay, I'm going to be a part of that. This will involve mass appearances of spacecraft and beings from across the entire planet, right? Making their presence undeniable to the global populace of the Earth Terrans. For those that didn't know, they call us the Earth Terrans, right? The non-star seeds, right, which is 96% of the world, 98.7% of the world population, are considered Terrans. They call us Terrans. So across the galactic community, we Earthlings are not called Earthlings. We're called Terrans, okay? So this involves a mass appearance of spacecraft and beings from across the planet making their presence undeniable. Such an event would force world governments, okay, to acknowledge the reality of extraterrestrial contact and disclose the long hidden documents detailing humanity's interactions with these off-world civilizations throughout history. So the Galactic Alliance prefers a rapid, structured disclosure process, not a gradual, okay? Not a gradual, but a rapid, where it's one thing after another, causing what is known as a critical mass effect, right? Where even the unawakened, right, those that are still following the program, all of a sudden are bombarded with all this information, okay? But it is also prepared to override government secrecy if necessary, okay? So should the White Hats hesitate or delay full transparency, and I don't think they will, because again, right now there are a lot of fires. There a lot of fires being put under their heinies. Okay, mass landings and visible demonstrations of advanced technologies will take place, ensuring that humanity is no longer kept in the dark. And this has nothing to do with that fake alien event. All right, Project Bluebeam, which was supposed to be the alien card, has been neutralized years ago. I mentioned this before, and I'll mention this again. Okay, Warner von Braun's last warning about the alien card, right, creating this through holographic technology, some sort of a fake alien invasion, is no longer going to be a thing. Okay, so when we do see, if we have to, if and so the Whiteheads don't meet the deadline, and they have to execute mass sightings and show their advanced technologies, They're going to be the good guys. They're not going to be our military craft. It's not going to be Project Bluebeam, and it's not going to be negative ET. So we're not going to be invaded. They're going to be the good guys. Okay, I just wanted to let you guys know. That's only if the White Hats don't meet the deadline. But I believe that the White Hats will meet the deadline. Okay, so they are putting the pressure on them. So unlike previous concerns about societal upheavals, the current disclosure timeline does not include the need for emergency broadcast system, or the lockdown scenario. So apparently the EBS is not going to be happening with the lockdown, but it's still going to be happening as an open EBS without forcing everybody to stay in their house for 2 weeks. Okay, but it's also good to have water and food supply just in case. So it's going to be more of an open EBS now, not a lockdown EBS. Okay, so with the White Hats in control, now that they are, thanks to Mr. T winning the White House, a more stabilized transition is now possible, allowing for an open flow of information without inducing panic. Okay, that's another thing that they wanted me to share with you guys, is that if they do lockdowns, it's going to induce panic. It's going to cause a lot of people to, not a lot of people, but those that are unawakened, it's, they might have a heart attack. Okay, so if they do without the lockdown, and yet they still reveal and disclose the information on a mass scale, as Mr. Elon Musk begins to buy out Fox, and I mentioned this before, he's in the process of buying out all the medias, they will be revealing all the information, okay? So the era of restricted information, control narratives, and fear-based governance is now coming to an end, okay? The Galactic Alliance, in coordination with the White Hat military, is executing a full-scale disclosure, okay, plan that will introduce humanity to its peace among the interstellar community in a controlled and responsible manner. So, Commander Valiant Thor's last remarks were this, okay, with the Galactic Alliance, as the Galactic Alliance continued to work from behind the scenes, guiding Earth's transition into the era of truth, unity, and advanced technological liberation, the final deadline set by the Syrian High Council, who is at the head of the Galactic Alliance. Again, they are the ones that are overseeing everything within our known universe, our local universe. So the deadline set by the Syrian High Council underscores the urgency of disclosure, okay? And failure to comply will result in extraterrestrial intervention, okay? So with the quarantine lifted, and it actually was lifted in 2016. Coincidentally, that's when the Great Awakening began with the Anonymous and the Q movement, right? It all happened around 2015 when you guys think about it. Well, that's when Earth's quarantine was lifted, okay? That's when the Earth's quarantine was ended, okay? So with the quarantine lifted and open contact that is now imminent, humanity will stand at the precipice of a profound transformation, one that will deadline its place in the cosmos. No, I'm sorry, one that will redefine, I'm sorry guys, I've been working all day, one that will redefine its place in the cosmos. So the White Hats must now act decisively, all right? They must act decisively, ensuring that the transition to full disclosure is executed smoothly, without delay, and in alignment with the greater cosmic plan. In alignment with the greater cosmic plan. So now bringing it back to the Earth. Okay, so that was a message from Commander Valiant Thor. All right, they're putting fire. They're giving the White Hats a deadline. And so the White Hats have a lot of work to do, okay? Now, bringing it back to the Earth. What's going on in the Earth? Okay, well, the DOJ Chief of Staff gives another update regarding the island files, revealing that over a week later, the review is still ongoing, and many documents remain unexamined. So that's still in process. And again, it is believed that one of the first things that they're going to reveal to the general public is this, okay? So while promising transparency, he does admit, and I'm talking about the DOJ Chief of Staff, he does admit he has no idea of what they will uncover, because those documents are still in examination, guys. He confirms that only the victims' names would be redacted. Now, some people believe, I just want to throw this out there, but I'll let you guys decide. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but some people believe that Jeffrey was a mole, that Jeffrey as well as Diddy were moles. Some people believe that. I'm not sure. I don't really have a clear answer to that, but some people are under the impression that Jeffrey and Diddy were moles, okay? But they were, since the beginning, that they were actually working with the White Hats in order to incriminate a lot of these cabal politicians, Hollywood elitists, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I'll let you guys decide on that. But in the end, we are going to know the truth. We're going to know the truth if these two were moles or if they were indeed bad people. Okay. So the deep state cabal has apparently collapsed on all levels. Okay. The purge is in full swing. All right. Big changes are coming, especially now that the Galactic Alliance is putting more pressure on the White Hats, okay? They want Earth to be part of a galactic community by 2026, no later than 2027, which ironically corresponds with the ending of our current reality construct by no later than 2028. All right, so they want the full age, the golden age, to be here by 2026, 2027. They want that golden age, okay? And we want it too, guys. We want it too. So big changes are coming, all right? Big changes are coming to bring people into the higher consciousness of the fifth dimension and light advances. So the time in between was not wasted at all, okay? Prior actions were necessary to put everything into the right place, to bring our planet to a higher resonance frequency. That has been the primary goal of both the Galactic Alliance and the White Hats, okay? As it is happening today, and to encourage people to move forward. So the global mafia's battle against the light is definitely lost. They will have to answer for everything. No one will escape until justice is served. So no one will escape until justice is served. So the time for the victory is here. Okay, a monumental task awaits us to prevent the hidden cabal and their mafia networks from unleashing chaos when they are forced to accept defeat. In retrospect, a lot has been done in recent years. Life on Earth was seriously threatened until 2012. Okay, and during that time, believe it or not, there was a lot of Galactic Federation of Worlds, as they were known then, before they reorganized into the Galactic Alliance. There was a lot of Galactic Federation of World intervention taking place, leading all the way up to 2012. Okay, if you guys only knew what the cabal was up to before 2012, since 2001, since what happened with the twins in September, they've been on this huge rampage on executing or initiating again a World War III. All right, but the Galactics have been on it, neutralizing and dismantling nuclear plants, as well as missiles. Okay, so yeah, they've been interfering a lot on our behalf. Okay, so we wouldn't have made it to this point, is what I'm saying, if it wasn't for the intervention of the positive extraterrestrials. So apparently we've been receiving help. All right, we must make the changes ourselves now, because this planet is going to be given to us upon the ascension, upon the first stages of the golden age, when some of the starseeds become activated with their superhuman abilities. They're literally going to be the new guardians of this Earth. Okay, this Earth will no longer be under the jurisdiction of the Galactic Federation or the White Hats. It is going to be restored back to the Council. The ones that are going to be governing in the new Earth are the 144,000, the Christed individuals, the elect, those that carry the mark of the Christ, and you know who you are. All right, so we are going to be the new stewards of the Earth. Okay, so there will be no more fear. Right, there will be no more loss. There will be no more pain, no more suffering. Okay, planet Earth will become a peaceful world without problems, where everyone can relax now. Okay, rest assured, Galactic Jedi, our new era is just around the corner. I could already taste it. Okay, better things are coming. Okay, so historic moment. Okay, secret meetings reveal the desperate plot by the IMF and the Federal Reserve to stop the QFS Patriot Wealth Fund is real, okay? The military raids that seized billions in stolen goods are about to be redistributed back to the people. So the prosperity programs, the redemption centers, even though the cabal's trying to do everything to block that from happening, they're still going to be happening in full force. But again, the EBS is no longer going to be a lockdown anymore. It's going to be an open EBS now, okay? I just wanted to make that clear because people always ask me, are we still going to have an EBS, even though, the white hats are in power? And the answer to that is yes, but it's not going to be, but without the lockdown. So we're still going to have an EBS, but without the lockdown. And it's going to be more of just revealing and disclosing information on a mass scale, okay? But without the lockdown. Grocery stores are still going to be open. Everything's still going to be open, okay? So the hidden war rages between the patriots and the cabals everywhere, not just in America, okay? Banks that have been controlled by the elites are no longer hiding their crimes, and you guys already know this, right? They're accelerating their last desperate attempts to maintain control before it all falls on them. So the final resistance of the banking elite is no longer an issue because as of March 2025, that's when the tipping point tipped over in the scales of power. It tipped over to the white hats, and that includes sociological, political, and economical. Okay, so that scale tipped over to the white hats. The global currency reset, also known as the GCR, is, even though it's been under attack, it's still in full swing, okay? Leaked information from February 28, 2025 reveals a secret meeting between the IMF officials, the International Monetary Fund, official staff of the Federal Reserve, and the major European banks. Their goal was to sabotage the GCR, okay, by manipulating the exchange rates and blocking access to redemption centers. Reports did confirm that over 4 trillion in stolen gold is hidden in Switzerland, the Vatican, in Antarctica, and they hope to wait long enough to reinforce their accumulated wealth and stay in power. But it's too late, guys, because as of March 1st, 2025, a whistleblower from the European Central Bank issued reminders that discuss the disclosure of redemption centers. No, that discuss the closure, of redemption centers. The cabal knows that the centers circumvent their corrupt system, their responses. So false threats to security to justify its destruction is no longer an issue because the QFS is well and alive, okay? And by the way, did you guys know, I'm sure some of you guys already knew this, but one of the things that allowed the White Hats to be 10 steps ahead of the cabal in this geopolitical war that's been going on from behind the scenes in the last century, but technically in the last few thousand years, if you read The Secret Government, it goes back to biblical times, is the fact that the Galactics gifted us with the quantum technology, okay? The quantum computers, the quantum technology, the quantum financial system was a gift to us from the Galactics. And really that's what set into motion the positive secret space programs, right? The positive secret space programs was the fact that we on the Earth, the good guys, now had access to quantum technology. And that's one of the reasons why we've been ahead of the cabal, okay? So every transaction is now going to be registered under the QFS, right? Untouchable and encrypted. And also to make a clear distinction is that the QFS is not an artificial intelligence, and it's not going to be working with AI. It is a living quantum consciousness connected to the crystalline structure of planet Earth. That's another thing that Commander Valiant Thor wanted me to emphasize tonight, is that the QFS has nothing to do with artificial intelligence, okay? It is an organic living intelligence. It is an organic living intelligence, okay? So their ability to steal via inflation, interest rates, and flat manipulation is now over, because as of March 2nd, 2025, a U.S. Treasury insider leaked evidence that the Federal Reserve was trying to, again, block the QFS. And they know that their time is up, okay? So as of June 2025, coming up in about 3 months. So by June 2025, this is good news, guys, because a lot of people ask me, when is the QFS going to be fully activated? When are we going to be seeing the fall of the fiat currency? Well, by June 2025, the transition will be complete and the elites will have already been collapsed completely. Okay. That's only 3 months away, guys. 3 months away. Okay. Massive military operations have been in progress and since February 2025 and February 27. Elite forces raiding a Swiss banker, discovering massive air reserves stolen from the cabal. And this was actually the largest legal wealth heist in history that happened in the last few months. Okay. The alliance has now 90% of the gold reserves that they took from the Vatican, from Switzerland, and Antarctica. Okay, 90%. The cabal only has 10 left. It's just a matter of time. I say before June, where that remaining 10% is no longer in the cabal's hands. Okay, so the Patriots, the wealth is real, guys. The Patriots' wealth is real. Okay. Um, Workers did confirm that the seized goods have already been distributed, bypassing the corrupt banking system. The cabal does not have the power to stop it anymore. XRP, RLUSD, and the destruction of the fiat system, the activation of XRP and RLUSD has triggered a financial revolution. And this also includes the BRICS movement, the new, or not new, it's been going on for a few years, but the BRICS, the economic Gesera, the economic Gesera front taking place in the East. So they're not just digital currencies, they're weapons against the cabal, okay? Leaked documents also confirm that a deep state plan to flood cryptocurrency markets with counterfeit stablecoins to destroy public trust. But it's too late, okay? It was too late. XRP, RLUSD are protected within the QFS and unstoppable, okay? Again, all other cryptos are going to crash, and that includes Bitcoin. Anything other than XRP and XLM or RLUSD are going to collapse, okay? Because they're not being supported by the QFS. The cabal's final plan was to collapse in planned war with their financial empire in ruin. Apparently, the cabal's latest strategy is finished. Okay, it's in total dismay. They're pushing for global wars, right? And that's what's happening right now with Zelensky and the European Union. But again, the Galactics are standing by in case the cabal decides to, launch a nuke or a missile. They're going to be there to immediately counteract it. Okay, the Galactic Alliance will not. Let me repeat this again. The Galactic Alliance will not allow for the Third World War to happen. It is not allowed. Okay, all eyes are on us. All right, the entire interstellar galactic community, they're on it. Okay, so even worse, intelligence sources warn of a new biological attack masked as an unknown variant of the, you know what I mean, okay? A health crisis artfully created to restore the control. But the Great Awakening cannot be stopped. It's not, because it's not really all about money, okay? This is the total collapse of the elite. We don't have to worry about any new VIRUS's outbreaks. We were threatened with monkeypox 2 years ago. We were threatened with VIRUSX a year ago. The reason why these things did not become an outbreak, which was literally supposed to throw us back into a lockdown, was again because of the intervention of the Galactic Alliance, guys. Okay. We had canceled. There's been many negative timelines that were literally canceled as a result of their intervention. And again, for those that are not familiar with my work, the host of heaven are very synonymous to the help of the benevolent extraterrestrial races. The benevolent extraterrestrial races, by analogy, different terminology, are also the host of heaven, the angelics, the messengers from above. Those that come from the sky to the earth, right? You have good ones, you have bad ones, right? Not all of them are evil, okay? So this is a total collapse of the elite, what we're witnessing, right? Um, Again, the QFS is here. All right, it's here to stay. There's nothing that the cabal could do, right? The redemption centers are real. The power is coming back to the people, right? The cabal's desperate last attempt is been neutralized. Um, and just bear in mind that we won the war. Okay. Um, okay. Another thing. Trump just dropped a hammer on the corrupt legal mafia. I mentioned this before. Okay, this is not just a war against the deep state, but it's also a war to end the entire black market cartel. Okay, so 15 top deep state laws firms, including Perkins Coie, have had their security clearance revoked. No more classified access, no more sabotage. Gitmo is next for these people, right? And that includes the godfather of the infamous Cosa Nostra Italian mafia. These firms have weaponized the legal system to destroy Trump, manipulate elections, and control the government from the shadows. But the game is over, okay? Trump has ripped their access to classified intelligence, leaving them blind. The swamp is screaming, right? Trump's executive order obliterates the deep state's legal army. The law, the lawfare cartel has been running Washington like a mafia, manipulating courts, coordinating phony investigations, and using classified intelligence to anticipate Trump's every move. Perkins Coie led the charge, the same firm that fabricated the Steele dossier and launched the entire Russia collusion hoax, right? Um, their power is gone. Their power is gone. No more spying, no more sabotage. The deep state's lawyers are now running blind. The path to Gitmo is now open. This is not just another executive order. This is the legal carpet bomb that clears the way for treason trials. The crimes committed go beyond warfare. I'm sorry, beyond beyond lawfare. They are acts of war against the American people. So without security clearances, these firms can't manipulate classified data. They can't coordinate legal attacks. They can't cover their tracks anymore. Their house of cards is collapsing because military justice is coming. Okay. The American people have waited for justice for way too long. Okay. So now it's here, guys. Trump has dismantled their greatest weapon, and now comes the final reckoning. Expect mass indictments, expect tribunals openly, right? We're not going to have to stay home anymore, right? We're not going to be under a lockdown, but it's going to be an open EBS. Expect Gitmo filling up extremely fast, okay? So each day the past fades out of existence, losing any influence it had. And as we move into this great bright light known as the golden age of Aquarius, in a world of many magical happenings, all those concerns and lingering problems are lost in the new world. We are all creating, okay? We're all creating, and especially quick for those doing their inner work and knowing that the truth, the reality of situation, and all else is passing shadows for our entertainment experiences. So as we go through relativity's vastness and learn all we choose to know firsthand on our journey through eternity, it all begins now. Okay. And yes, we are dealing with eternity, right? This is only our time here on the earth. They say it's only a fragment of our experience in eternity, guys. All right. It's only a fragment. So let it go, guys. Let go of the worry. Let go of the stress and focus on what brings you happiness. This is a message from Commander Thor. In ending, let go of the worry, let go of the stress, and focus on what brings you happiness. Okay. Don't worry about the cabal anymore. Don't worry about when the sale is going to happen, the redemption funds, the redemption center, the distribution of funds. It's all been prophesied about. It's going to happen. Just let go of the worry and stress. Okay. Live as if the eternal beings live as if as you, the best way to say this, live as the eternal being that you are. Live as the eternal being that you are, open to the bliss that is filling everything and every day. And as we regain ourselves and all the ground, glorious perfection that is bringing us into the new earth, into the new earth. Yeah, so that was a message from the Galactic Alliance, specifically from Commander Valiant Thor, as well as giving you guys a bit of a geopolitical update. I do have a super chat, but before I get to that super chat, I do want to give some shout outs to Amelius is in the house, Silver Earth is in the house, Sandy Wolfmother, Moonlight 777, Matt Dice, Jill Hunt, Tracy 5055, Nature Boy, Sandy Kuzma, Neo is in the house, Leslie Kunlife, Starlight, Project Skyfalls, Amanda Tempori, Leona Angie, Cosmic Seal, who else is in the house? Sasha Lee, Michael Rogers is in the house. Project Skyfalls, I've already mentioned them. Palladian Soul 33 is in the house. Who else is in the house? Radiant Guardians is in the house. Matt Briss is in the house. MJF is in the house. Patricia, JT, and everyone else that is in the house. Thank you guys for your support, your love. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and also those that watch this on the replay. Now, I will open it up for Q&A. Dear Galactic Jedis, we were 300 people waiting for fireworks on July 4th, 2023. I noticed spiritual energies coming down from many, many stars in the sky into the heads of all people. This is going on for 2 years. Be blessed. Thank you for that beautiful message, Dr. Ra. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the super chat as well. Very generous of you, Dr. Ra. Let's see. Just going to take some random questions. Will quantum energy replace kinetic energy? Sally wants to know. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into kinetic energy. But yeah, as we shift into the quantum technology, everything's going to go quantum, guys. We are going quantum. Okay, we're going quantum. Let's see. Your glasses, Ishmael. Where are my glasses? Perfect reminder that I do need to wear my glasses. Oh, by the way, here's the award that I dedicate to each and every single one of you. Where are my glasses? My glasses are in my car, guys. Give me a minute. Let me go get my glasses so I can read the chat better. All right, glasses on. I can take some questions now. Athena, I already took you potty. You are a needy girl. Let me answer questions now, and I'll give you time after my live. Let's see. Congratulations. Okay. Where? Whoa, whoa, whoa! The chat's going so fast. I don't even know where to start. Can you? Okay, this is a good question from Cheryl Shoemaker. I'm going to pin the message. And I do want to welcome all 2,500 people that are in the house. Welcome, welcome. Can you explain the black hole and does it have a part of our ascension? I don't know. Be more specific. There are different types of black holes. There are artificial technological black holes that are developed by artificial intelligence, cosmic AI, used to suck up the life force of galaxies and universes. Okay, those are called reversal Merkaba technologies. And then there are organic black holes that happen as a result of two cosmic phenomena. Are you ready? When a planet collapses, right, like Jupiter, when a planet is ready to become a star and it collapses into itself, it creates a black hole where everything is sucked up into it. And then another black hole that happens naturally is when a universe reaches an old age, okay, and that universe collapses into a black hole. It sucks everything in its surroundings in order to recreate itself again and reincarnate. Okay, and that leads to the phenomena of a white hole, which is what we call the beginning of a new universe. So those are organic black holes. Okay, black hole are for souls that are only negative and won't change. Okay, there you go. So there are two different types of black holes. There's artificial reversal Merkabas that are being used by cosmic AI to suck the universal life force of living systems like whole galaxies, right, disappearing left and right, for those that are familiar with my work. And then there are natural black holes that happen as a result of planets imploding, universes collapsing into themselves, creating into a singularity, right? They collapse into the black hole to then be born again. Okay, those are different explanations of black holes. Hi, Ishmael. Will medbeds restore our 12 strands of DNA? No, that is a good question. The medbeds are only capable of healing current things in our body, everything known to man, any illness. No, what's going to restore our 12 strand DNA is the activation of our dormant genetics through the solar flash. That's what's going to restore the dormant DNA. Okay, not medbeds. Okay, this is a good question from Carol. And this is related to the secret space program and what's going on off world. This is from Carol Roenfeld. She's asking Ishmael, are there really giant spiders on Mars? An episode on Gilligan's Island was about a giant spider in a cave. Okay. Yeah, the giant spiders that are as big as a bus were discovered in Mars when when our breakaway groups landed on planet Mars, and before they colonized it, a lot of battles took place between our super soldiers and these giant black spiders. Not only were there black spiders, but there were also giant centipedes and giant insects that were roaming. I guess some of these insectoids, including the black spiders, did colonize a huge portion of Mars, and they've been living there, God knows how long, but for a very long time. So yeah, I do know that there were some skirmishes between the super soldiers and some of these black spiders that were the size of a bus. They were huge, capable of eating you and swallowing you whole. But yeah, they're no longer there. These super soldiers were able to use their advanced through advanced technologies and their enhanced capabilities. They were able to actually eliminate a lot of those. Good question, though. Yeah, we're not just fighting draconians and negative reptilians out there, and negative AI. Some of the negative species out there manifest in the forms of giant insects, guys. Okay, giant insects, including huge spiders. Yes, for those that signed up for my March class, you will be the link is actually in the respond email. If you go to the respond email and you scroll all the way down, all right? When you sign up for my class, you get a respond email immediately. You scroll all the way down and you're going to get to the link. That's where the link is. So you scroll all the way down from the response email, okay? And I will see you guys in class next weekend. No, Elena Denon is not with the Emerald Order Collective. No, she is. She's working with Enki now. She's working with Enki, who is a trickster. So we got to be careful with galactic channelers that also claim to be the only emissaries of the galactics. Okay. Family of Love and Light has a really good question. She's asking, does a pregnant woman who is in Ascension have the baby in the fifth dimension if she's ready at that time? Yes, actually, yes. That is true. If you are expecting a child and you happen to ascend, um, well, first of all, there will be no pain involved anymore. Okay, there is no pain in the fifth dimension because your body's going to become less dense. You're going to become more light. You're still going to be physical. You're still going to be giving birth to a divine being. All right, so your child is not going to be also a human. If you give birth in the fifth dimension, your child is going to be born with a full 12-strand DNA helix, fully activated. Okay, that is a difference. So yeah, you still give birth. It's just not painful anymore. It is much easier to give birth in the fifth dimension for you women out there. Jonathan is asking me if I will ever do a Michael Sala interview. I would love to, but unfortunately, Michael Sala and Alex Coiler have decided to, take Elena Denon's side. When I did call her out a few years ago, I got a lot of backlash from her and them and her friend, the drunk lady. I forget her name is Henderson something. And they really just, they didn't like what I had to say, but somebody had to tell the truth, right? She was being used by Enki in order to steal a lot of the DNA from women on the Earth, starseed women, in order to infiltrate the Galactic Federation fleets. And she was like Enki's main, you could say, main. The best way to describe it, she was Enki's emissary. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. So I don't really want to talk about that anymore. But yeah, I would love to go on an interview. But unfortunately, they decided to side with her and said all these bad things about me. I'm sure a lot of my followers know about that. A lot of my new subscribers don't know about that, but I'm just letting you guys know that yeah, that's what's happening in that regard. Barb from Sedona is in the house. Hello, Barb. Hello, hello. Welcome from Sedona, Arizona. What a sacred place to be in. Oh, thank you for all the love. I see a lot of people saying we love you, Ishmael. Thank you guys. You guys are so amazing. And I appreciate all of you, by the way. Um, I don't know why. Somebody's asking me why are older women getting pregnant now? I don't know why, guys. That's not my forte. I don't really understand the evolutionary changes in the female anatomy. But if I get an answer from the Galactics about it, I'll probably talk about that next week. But I don't know why older women are having babies now. And to me, that sounds like a good thing, right? Because there's a deadline for women to have kids. I think the deadline is like once they hit like 45 or 46, It's very hard for them to conceive. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's a good thing. That means women in their late 40s are capable of having children now, right? The genetics are changing. I love you, but I don't believe everything you say. I want to know your source. Well, I get my information directly from Commander Valiant Thor, and I also do a lot of research regarding White Hat updates and intel. But when it comes to galactic information, guys, like what I read earlier today, that came from Commander Valiant Thor. It was a transmission that I actually typed out in order to present it to you guys. Okay, so most of my intel comes from Valiant Thor, but I also do a lot of research. I also do a lot of research. And yes, you don't have to believe everything I say, guys. Just take what resonates and take what doesn't. Right? I'm only here to I'm here to just give you guys the info, and whatever resonates, go with it. Whatever doesn't, don't. It's all good. Right? We could still agree to disagree and still be friends. And that's what a golden age is all about. Christ consciousness, right? Allowing everybody's free will and everybody's opinion matters. Right? That's what it's all about. And again, for those that are just tuning in, I will be at the Alien event on the 4th, 5th, and 6th, 4 weekends from now here in Los Angeles at the Sonosta Hotel. So I will be presenting and I'm going to be speaking on all the panels. So I hope to see some of you guys there. Will Canada become the 51st state this summer? Good question. I am not sure. I am not sure, but it looks like it's heading there. One of the things that I did reveal in the first edition of our Cosmic Origin is that all of these countries are going to consolidate into 22 federated regions. And the federated region that we belong to is known as I believe it's known as the Jabucas Federation. And that's going to be the amalgamation of Canada, Greenland, New Mexico, and the United States. Is the Galactic Federation of Light legit? The original name for the community, the interstellar races, the alliances up in space, was the Galactic Federation of Worlds, right? There are other federations that have slightly different names, but from what I've heard is that over the years, a lot of these malevolent, negative extraterrestrials had been posing as GFL members when they channel information to certain people. So I've never heard any negative transmission coming from the Galactic Federation of Worlds, but I have heard that some of these tricksters, I guess I'm talking too fast, pose as GFL members. Okay, so you have to have discernment when it comes to listening to people who are emissaries or channelers of galactic commanders. Not New Mexico. I meant to say Mexico. The country underneath us, right? Baja California and all that region that connects to Central America. Mexico, Canada, the United States, and Greenland are going to become a federated region, and the rest of the world. There's going to be a total of 22 in the New World Council. So that's why I believe that Trump is the last president. As of 2028, when our current reality construct comes to an end, we're definitely going to be seeing a change in everything, including the over 200 countries that exist consolidating into 22 federated regions. Hi, Ish. Who are the dog man? Are you talking about the extraterrestrials that have the face of a dog and the body of a humanoid? There are various sectors within our universe where those types of beings evolved out of, but the main, yeah, Athena is thirsty. That's my dog drinking water. My 65-pound pit bull. Can't believe she weighs so much. I took her to the vet last week and I had to carry her, and boy, man, it's a good thing I lift weights because that dog is heavy. But yeah, there are different species out there that come from other solar systems within our local universe that actually have the face of a dog and the body of a human. So those beings do exist. Okay, they do exist. No, Athena is not Commander Valiant Thor. Oh yeah, she's thirsty. I took her for a long walk right before the show, so um, she's really thirsty now. Ishmael, was the cyclone in Australia weather manipulation? Lorna Angie wants to know. Yes, that was weather manipulation. It was. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Jelena Howard is saying that I thought Enki was the good guy. Well, unfortunately, most people in the disclosure community have it wrong because they believe the Sumerian tablets, as translated by Zechariah Sitchin, as solid, base, unquestionable information. But the truth of the matter is that those tablets themselves, all right, the ancient Sumerian tablets, were actually inverted to make Enki look like the good guy and Enlil look like the bad guy, when in actuality, it was the other way around. For instance, Enlil was Zeus to the Greeks, okay? Zeus. Enki was Poseidon to the Greeks, okay? So when you read the story of the Greek gods, the different translations, then the story flips, right? Then Zeus was the guardian of Earth. Zeus was the protector of humanity. Zeus, who was Enlil to the Sumerians, same deity, just different name. And Poseidon was the reason why Atlantis fell. Poseidon was the one who wanted to execute world domination. Yes, that's right. Everything was manipulated. Okay, we're living in an upside down world where whatever they tell you, all you have to do is revert it. All right, just like the Mockingbird media have been telling the normies. Oh, I'm sorry, the unawakened, that Trump is the bad guy, right? When in reality, it's them that were the bad guys. So what we have to do is when we hear anything, we have to invert it. And that's how it works because we live in an upside down world. Everything was inverted to make good look bad and bad look good. And this happened as a result of the Babylonian Brotherhood, who was under the control of Enki Poseidon, the son of Marduk, the son of Enki. When they took over the affairs of the world, they inverted everything to make themselves look like the good guys. Ishmael, please explain Orma. How do I know if I am one of them? Amako. Well, if you take my Our Cosmic Origin class, I can tell you your star origin. That's one of the things that comes with that class. But a quick rundown of the Orma race. The Orma race is the original ancient feline race that volunteered prior to the conception of our universe to help in the development of the species here in our universe. And I explained this in the galactic history. So 49 Orma and 49 carrion bird people volunteered, a total of 90 individuals that had reached ascension in a prior universe to come to our universe and kind of jumpstart everything here in our universe, okay? So the Ormas, the felines, the lion people were one of the first race to embody here in our universe in Lyra. They originated in Lyra on a planet called Avion. Well, I'm not going to take Athena P anytime soon, guys. Right now, my attention is focused on you guys, okay? Again, I took her for a nice long walk right before the show, so she could wait. She could wait. That's right. We are all pieces of the puzzle. Hey Ishmael, my brother, which beings are more fierce than the reptilians but benevolent? The Ormas, the lion race, they are fierce. As well as the Carrions, who are the original bird people, also known as the Azurites. The Azurites. Later, of course, some people call them the Blue Avians, but they were never called the Blue Avians. They were originally called the Carrions. I don't know why people call them Blue Avians. Yes, that's right. The Orma war warriors, and they still are warriors. Good to see you too, David Hakes. He says, "Hey Ishmael, good to see you. Good to see you too, David." Yes, that's right. The Anuhasi are the archetype Lyrans. They were the original guardian race, right? They were part of the intergalactic experiment of creating the super race in the seventh dimension millions of years ago. Now we're part of the third grand experiment. The Anuhasi race was part of the first Earth grand experiment, which began in Lyra. That failed. And then the second one, the Pleiades, that failed. And then the third one is us. So we're supposed to be a success. Okay. So, yes, that is true. Let's see. Did King David's son have the ability to time travel? I heard that Absalom may have time traveled into the future and created the Assassin's Creed. T. Sinclair wants to know. All right, I want to just reveal something for the first time, okay? As Solomon, that was one of my previous lives, son of King David, one of the various sons of King David, not Absalom. But Absalom, not so much Absalom, but Solomon had access to time travel, okay? And why I know that is because I was able to access that timeline where I was King Solomon. So, yes, that is very true, right? The early Israelites developed time travel, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were connected with the time travel that was also developed by Nikola Tesla in the 1930s. So there's another reason why the White Hats always win the war is because they had access to time travel before the Dark Cabal did, going back to thousands of years ago, right? So yeah, that is true. Yes, I know a lot of you guys are, sick and tired of this movie. You guys are tired of the craziness, but we are at the finish line, guys. The deadline is 2026. So between now, this is the year of disclosure. So things are going to be happening this year. That's for sure. The White Hats have been under a lot of pressure due to the Galactic Alliance, putting fire under their hannies, their heinies, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we're definitely going to be starting to see some changes this year that are going to roll into 2026. Yes, Valiant Thor is different than Thorhan Eridine. That's right. Um, okay, I want to tell you the truth, Jonathan. Thorhan Eridani, who was the original rescuer of Elena Denon, the person that she had initially contact with, was no other than Enki, disguised himself as Thor Hans Eridani. Okay, Thor Hans Eridani was Enki all along. Okay, I don't want to reveal that, but I guess since we're on the topic, yes. Okay, so that's why she is a Trojan horse in this community. Okay, she's working with Enki. No, Kimmy Kin says no. 2025 is the year of disclosure. The Galactics put a deadline for Earth to become part of a galactic community by 2026. But this is the year where all the information will be revealed to the public. There is a difference. By 2026, the Earth is going to be part of a galactic community. Nature Boy, love your work and dedication, Ishmael. Can you explain more in detail the involvement you will have with the first open contact that you mentioned earlier? And are you planning on moving from California? I can't really, okay, I can't really explain that right now. I don't, I don't want to cancel that timeline, but just know that me and my divine counterpart are going to have a lot to do with that. That's all I'm going to say. And no, I'm not going to mention if I'm going to move from California or not. That is personal, guys. Again, I'm being monitored by both the Alliance and the negative side. Okay, so I'm not going to give information that I shouldn't give regarding my personal life and what I'm going to be doing regarding first contact. That's going to stay private until it happens. Okay. But thank you so much for for asking that question, Nature Boy. There are just some things that I can't talk about until they happen. They have to happen first. When are the fires going to stop? Good question. I don't know. I think that once we have this open EBS, now that things have changed from a lockdown to an open EBS, I think we might be seeing the ending of, chemtrails and directed energy weapons and all that stuff. Guys, a lot of those things are still happening because of this negative AI that is currently working from behind the scenes through the technologies, through the cybernetic Internet of Things and all that stuff. So is Trump a time traveler? The entire Trump family has been involved in time travel, beginning with John Trump, who was professor of MIT and close friend of Nikola Tesla. So yeah, the Trump family in general have been involved with time travel, yes. And there's even a book about Baron Trump time traveling. Also, even Baron Trump is a time traveler. Caroline Mattis says, I see you with President Trump in a dream. All right, cool. That's good to know. Will starseeds who may have been in 6D go back to 6D or only to 5D? No. If you volunteered from 6D, chances are is that you're gonna. Okay, wherever you came from, you're gonna have access to all those realities. Okay, some of you guys came from 7D, so you're gonna have access to 5D, 6D, 7D, and 4th D. Some of you that came from 8th D are gonna have access to 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Some of you that came from 12D, it's a very small number, but they're here, are gonna have access to the entire spectrum of reality. Okay. which will also directly correspond to the amount of powers, superpowers that you're going to have. So the higher that you have access to realities, the higher realities that you have access to, the more powers that you're going to have. Absolutely. So not everyone's going to have the same abilities. Okay, some people are going to have more abilities than others, but bear in mind that those are going to be also the most benevolent, wisest, humblest souls in the universe. Sandy says, I feel like I'm going nuts. I don't know what to believe. Well, this is the time to go within, Sandy. Go within and get in touch with your higher self. Wow. Well, the original president, again, there's like 3 or 4 Trumps. So the original President Trump is running the White Hat Alliance from Cheyenne Mountains. Yes. So the one that we see on Fox in the White House, that's like his second. That's like the double. Okay. No, I don't have any information on the Elon rocket exploding. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe I'll report on that coming up Monday during when I do the White Hat Alliance update this Monday. I'll report on that. But no, as of now, I don't have any intel. Who would you say that the most powerful being to ever walk the earth was? I would have to say that the most radiant one, coming all the way from the 13th dimension, also known as Jesus the Christ. He is the firstborn of heaven. He was in charge of the first major creation going back to 950 or 90 billion years ago. And yes, Jesus the Christ was the most powerful one of all that has ever walked the earth. Night Star Power, thank you for that $1 donation. Michael Christ, great work, Ishmael from Australia. Oh, you're welcome, Michael. Love your last name, Michael Christ. Reminds me of Christ Michael, the sovereign of our local universe. Thank you, Ambassador. Always a joy to see you, says Debbie Gender. Oh, you are welcome. Again, I'm not the only ambassador. You know, there's a lot of ambassadors. Commander Valiant Thor is the main one, though. He's the primary ambassador. What role are the blue avians playing for Earth at this time here? Well, they're playing a very pivotal role. You know, they're one of the main things that the blue avians, also known as the carry-ons, did and provided was that during the space war between the benevolent, positive secret space program and the negative programs, they pretty much came into our solar system in these huge crafts, size like they're the size of planets, like as big as Jupiter, to pretty much create an electromagnetic barrier around our solar system, so that no more negative ETs could come in, and then those that were already in were trapped because they were about to be executed by the good ETs and the Galactic Alliance. So that's one of the positive things that the Blue Avians did, is that they sealed our solar system back in 2015, 2016, in order to prevent negative beings from coming in, and also isolating and quarantining the negative beings that were already here, knowing that the time would come where the great solar flash would nuke them. Okay, the great solar flash will nuke and destroy any negative ET that is still lurking within our solar system. So that explains why a lot of negative ETs wanted to leave because they knew that the solar flash was going to kill them. Yes, the quarantine was over. It is over. So the difference between the quarantine that I talked about that was placed here thousands of years ago, that was designed by the good guys to keep the tyranny that was isolated in our world from once again spreading throughout the galaxy. Okay. But again, in the 30s and 40s, it spread throughout the galaxy because of the newly secret space programs and the new breakaway groups that were formed due to time travel that took place by these ETs. So the electromagnetic fence that the blue avians put upon our solar system was more of a barrier. It wasn't a quarantine, it was a barrier to prevent negative ETs from coming and also to isolate those that were here in order to eliminate them. There is a difference. You're welcome. Thanks for clearing that up. You are so welcome. Michael Frick wants to know, and do these ETs talk to you? Well, I am in communication with certain ETs because as a multidimensional being, I do hold a place in the Council of Galactics, but that's in my eighth dimensional avatar. When I sleep at night, my consciousness goes back to my eighth dimensional avatar, where I partake in these intergalactic meetings, and then I bring the information back when I wake up in the morning, back to my human avatar. So this is my human avatar. You guys also have multiple avatars operating on different timelines, on different dimensions and different bandwidths, right? With different bodies. Everyone here is multidimensional, all right? It's just that I've always had access to my multidimensionality. Thank you, Stewart Williams, for that generous donation. T. Sinclair says, I was Absalom in the past. You were my brother Solomon. Oh, that's good to know. Good to know. So Absalom was another son of King David. For those that didn't know, King David had multiple sons. It wasn't just Solomon, right? He was what is known as a cedar. Okay, he came from the bloodline of Zeus, so he needed to proliferate his genes, just like Solomon was even a greater cedar than David. Solomon had hundreds of children, more so than King David. What is the timeline for the solar flash? I knew I was going to get asked that question. This is Steve Barrett. He wants to know what the timeline for the solar flashes will be. Um, well, it is expected, we are expecting a peak point in solar maximum sometime at the end of March, beginning of April. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Thank you, Grace McNamara, for your generous donation. All right, Elizabeth PRC22 is asking a very good question, a little complex, but I think I could answer it. She's asking, how can there be a 76,000 year or 26,000 year cycle if there is no time? Good question. Well, those cycles only exist within the three dimension. Okay, Earth, they only exist here on Earth in its lowest density. In a higher dimensional Earth, there are no cycles. There is no time. So the 75,000 year which is a cycle that we're also ending at this time, not just a platonic 25,000 year cycle, but we're also ending many cycles beyond that. Okay. I explained there's about 6 different cycles that we're ending. I explained that very well in one of my classes, our cosmic origin. But again, time is only a construct within the 3D reality. So by virtue of that, cycles only exist when we see time going in a sequence form from point A to point B to point C. With beyond that, there is no time. There are no cycles. It's just the eternal now. How do you connect with your higher self? Wants to know Sandy. Well, through meditation. Through meditation. That's how we do it. That's right. Tino Petronzio is reminding us that timelines are fluid and therefore are always changing. That is true. But the deadline is 2026 for the galactic community to be on the Earth, or for the Earth to be part of an open galactic community. And by 2027, 2028, that reality construct known as the Matrix comes to an end. So we might see it collapsing by 2026 if we meet the deadline. If we meet the deadline. Can you speak about Ninhursag? Yeah, she was benevolent. Actually, her mother was Assyrian. Her father was Anu, and as a Syrian Anunnaki hybrid, she was in charge of the medical facility programs known as Shurapak, and she was the one that was um, tasked with the proper creation of a super being. But instead of using Enki's genetics, they wanted to use Anu's genetics, but Enki defied the council, and Enki decided to use his reptilian genetics. And that's where everything went wrong. Okay. And that's why, because of Enki's genetics, that's why we all inherited the R complex. But going back to the topic, Ninhursag was known as the mother of humans, the lady of the mountains, and she was in charge of all medical procedures during the ancient Atlantean times. Hey, Ishmael, what are your thoughts on Hitler? Well, he had a double. All right, the real Hitler swindled himself through a submarine, not through an airplane. He used a submarine, and he relocated to Argentina. The real Hitler with Himmler, and the imposter Hitler, the double, was the one that supposedly blew himself up at the end of the war. But no, the real Hitler survived, and through a submarine, he went over to Argentina, where he raised his many, many children in secret. And one of those children, are you guys ready for this? Was the mother of Obama. Barack Obama is the grandson of Adolf Hitler. Okay, so the mother of Obama was one of the daughters of Adolf Hitler. So Obama was the grandson of Adolf Hitler. You know, people ask for closed captions, but every time I've turned those on, it seems like the algorithm catches what I'm not supposed to be talking about, and it's not good for my channel. So I can no longer put those up, because then I'm going to get my, I don't want to, I want to keep broadcasting. Okay. I want to keep broadcasting. Somebody says, wow, mind blown. Well, yeah, Barack Obama, grandson of Adolf Hitler. That's another thing most people didn't know. Ishmael, what is the main currency used in QFS? Is it digital money or still using paper and coins to purchase products? Good question, Arius. The original, okay, the primary currency that's going to be used in the QFS is love. All right. As we move into the new quantum golden age reality, the amount of love that you generate, right, will determine how much money, how many units you're going to receive. So it's not digital, it's not fiat. It is in the form of units and backed by real gold and precious metals. Okay, best way to answer your question. Are flickering lights, sparkles, and blurry vision Ascension symptoms? Says Caroline McCabe. Um, they could also be a sign that a loved one is near you or in your presence. So every time I have flickering lights, is because my mom is visiting. My mom, who passed away when I was 16 years old. I don't know about the actor Gene Hackman and his wife. I'm going to have to look into that. Jem is asking me to speak about the real truth regarding actor Gene Hackman and his wife. I'm not sure about who he is. So I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to get back at you with that. I don't know how to answer that because I don't know who they are. All right. Um, I'm getting so many questions. All right, guys. I've been broadcasting for about an hour and a half. I will see you guys on Monday night for a White Hat Alliance update report. May the God Force be with you all. It was fun hanging out with you guys all, and I'll see you guys in 2 days. Hope is real. Thank you so much. I had a dream where I was in another realm where seasons moved fast from winters to summers, from flowers, death to new happenings in a blink of an eye, and is a constant process. Bees were huge compare. Wow, that sounds like you had a glimpse of the new earth. Hope is real. Thank you so much for that generous donation, and we'll see you guys in 2 nights for a Monday night White Hat update report. We'll see you guys then.